Welcome to 20 Ways to Die. I'm your DM, Dan, and today we're going to sit down with one of our players and learn a little bit more about them. Why don't you introduce yourself and tell us where you're from?
Hi, I'm Evan. I'm from California.
All right, great. And what attracted you to D&D?
Uh, Seeing it on TV and in movies and stuff like that, you see it in E.T. and then definitely in Stranger Things. I was a big fan of like cartoons as a kid, and there was this episode of Dexter's Lab that was all centered around D&D that really stuck out as me and stuff like that. And then going on further, trolling the internet, you find things like Critical Role or Acquisitions Incorporated, and that kind of just made it like real. It wasn't just something on like a big silver screen or anything like that. And
Right.
that kind of yeah. So from there, I just kind of researched it, found the books, found a group around my hometown, and started playing from there.
Awesome. And what character are you playing in this game?
I'm playing Brom Misk. He's a neutral good human, life cleric of Lathander, the Morning Lord.
And tell me a little bit about their background.
Yeah, I mean, Brom was brought up kind of in a small village raised by two general store workers. From there, it was a pretty average childhood. He got stuck in a river once and all that, kind of kid stuff. But the real turning point in his life was when a group of cultists, who he later found out to be the cult of the dragon, raided his village and killed his parents. Um, the only kind of saving grace in all of this was a dwarf named Harbeck Urgrant.
Okay.
He kind of took Brom under his wing, right? Feeling sorry for him being alone in this world, took Brom under his wing and trained him to be a cleric of Lathander like he was. And once he kind of went through those steps and kind of proved himself able to act on his own, he let him kind of go wander the lands to preach the light of Lathander.
Okay. And what about his physical description and personality?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely kind of just very much your average human, 5'9", 175, so pretty much an average build. He's he's very stubborn, kind of like the dwarf who raised
Mm-hmm.
him. He doesn't change his mind as easily as some do, and he's pretty much fearless, right? If you're gonna let him be the first, if he knows there's danger on the other side of that door, he's gonna be the one to be the first person through that door.
Right.
It's just the kind of the way he handles things. He's always willing to save anyone and do anything he can to save someone who he deems is worthy of being saved,
Sure.
which is most people.
Would you say that Brahm has a celebrity doppelganger, and who would you say they are?
Yeah, I've kind of always pictured him looking kind of like Luke Hemsworth, kind of one of the lesser known Hemsworth
Ah, yeah,
brothers.
the oldest, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the oldest. Yeah,
Yep.
he's the security guard from Westworld
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, that's a fitting description, I think. And then what brought your character to the adventuring lifestyle? I know you talked about this a little bit about him being raised by the dwarf and then being brought up in the Church of Lathander. Is there anything else that kind of attracted him to actually going out and adventuring with a group?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely the incident at Greenest, that kind of just sparked up all of that old emotion for him, right? He kind of been away from hunting the colt and that sort of stuff, and kind of found this caravan to jump in on, make a few bucks here and there, and then seeing it back in action, right? Seeing it as he remembered it, the colt coming in and raiding and pillaging, really kind of sparked it up with him, and seeing that he had a somewhat capable group around him, he felt like he could. This was his chance to kind of respark that anger he had.
Okay. And what would you say Brahm's goals are in life?
His outward goal that he would, if you kind of started chatting him up at a bar, he'd say, oh, I'm just trying to spread the light of Lathander out there, But internally, I think Brahm's main goal is to kind of seek that revenge
Hmm.
on the cult,
Okay.
especially just for the travesty that happened in his past.
Okay. And what is your favorite moment so far with your character or as a player?
Oh, I mean, I've got a couple. Most recently, I think being polymorphed into a giant ape and just basically getting to smash things. It's pretty great. But my other one was the side journey on our merchant cart expedition. We got to take a little bit of a break from that and go take care of a brood of spiders out in the woods, and that was a really good moment for me. It really got to show that I could be this really great support character, but I could really dish out the damage. Right, there was a huge combo with guiding bolt into inflict wounds, and I dealt like 80 something damage,
Oh
and
yeah.
I think that kind of
Yep.
I think that kind of changed the perspective of Brom in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I think they didn't feel as bad for putting you in the front line anymore as the healer.
No.
Yeah. So, how has the campaign affected your character so far, either in character as Braum is developing, or perhaps some meta changes of how you're playing him?
There hasn't been too much that's changed Brom. I mean, he's stubborn, right? Being raised by that dwarf really instilled that stubbornness, that hard headedness. So, I mean, he's not gonna change the way he handles things with a little bump in the road here and there.
Hmm.
There are a few things that are kind of wearing on him, though. Hanging out with our lawful neutral paladin is starting to get to him a little bit. Some of those actions are not as savory as Braum would like,
Right,
and also dealing with our thief of a monk is getting to him too. That greediness, that hoarding is might spark some conflict here, but they haven't done anything outrageous yet. And Braum is very much at the ends kind of a guy. So these guys have definitely helped him get this far on his journey. Right, he
right.
feels. Especially right now, where we are in the campaign, we're kind of in a central portion of the cult, and Brom feels that because of this help that he's received is why he's here. So he doesn't want to ruin his chances at getting his revenge just yet.
And it's really tough too, as you noted, you being the only lawful good character in the group, you're kind of held to a different standard and set of morals than really the majority.
Oh yeah, I mean it's I'm running around with a showboaty bard, a neutral trader wizard. It's yeah, and as I said, the lawful paladin. I think it can be hard. It's definitely being held to a different set of standards. It's difficult.
Right.
So, but like I said, being able to justify those things is what Brom's good at. Yeah, we'll see where this takes us, and then kind of like the actions further. But Brom's found some good friends here, and definitely some allies that have helped him along the way.
Great. Yeah, and it's cool to see his progression as, from the Boy Scout to traveling with this party, and like you said, the ends justify the means, and so far the
Mm-hmm.
party has created more good than bad, and it's like Brahms along for the ride and also there to kind of guide them toward the right direction.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Is there anything else you'd like to say to any listeners?
I just wanted to say thank you guys for taking an interest in this, and I hope that you enjoy the way we play. I think the way we play is is how we play, and it's a way that we found some good camaraderie in there. So I hope you can continue listening and give us some good feedback on what we can do better for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, thank you for your time, and that will conclude today's interview.